Joining us now from Washington, Republican representative from Washington and chair of the House Republican Conference, Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rodgers. Very good to have you back on the show.
Congresswoman, great to have you here. Obviously, we're talking about sequester. It seems like a bad idea whose time should have never come.
A weird name.
That's right.
Tell us what's happening on the Hill right now. I heard that committee chairmen and chairwomen are starting to work to try to fix some of the bluntness of those cuts.
Well, we didn't have to get to this place. We knew for a year and a half that sequester was going to hit the president's across-the-board cuts that unfortunately disproportionately impact the military. And that's why the Republicans nearly 300 days ago had passed a replacement bill. And so today we find ourselves continuing to need the Senate to take action. I'm hopeful that we will start getting those serious discussions to cut spending. Americans recognize that we need to cut spending, that Washington is spending is out of control, that this is not sustainable, and that now is a time to act because it does impact our economy. It impacts economic future.
So when do we start focusing, though, on the real issue at hand, and that's long-term entitlements and not discretionary domestic spending, which only takes up 9, 10, 11% of the budget?
Well, that's all part of putting a budget into place. And over the next couple of weeks, the Republicans in the House will be introducing our budget. Again, we need the Senate to pass a budget. This is the 4th year now that the Senate has not even proposed a budget, not introduced a budget. The president hasn't introduced a budget. It's pretty fundamental to governing that you need a budget in place, and that especially during difficult times, that's when you need the budget. Families recognize that. Businesses recognize that, and yet the federal government is operating without a budget, and
actually,
that's when.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, the president did actually send budgets to the Hill. You may not have noticed it because they got 0 votes. Not this year
yes,
yet.
Right. Yes, that's true.
Right, Mark.
Congressman, I want to ask you on budgeting. Would you like to see Medicare change fundamentally as a program, become more of like a voucher program, or would you like the program to stay the way it is with just some cuts in terms of funding levels?
I would like to see us take action to save Medicare. We need to be honest that the current path is on a path to bankruptcy, and we have 10,000 seniors signing up for Medicare every day. On average,
to save it, I'm sorry to interrupt, but to save it, do you need to fundamentally change the nature of the program or not?
Well, we need to at least we need to have a conversation about how we save Medicare and recognize that the current path is not going to work. So so the Republicans have been putting different proposals on the table. I hope that the Democrats will join us in this effort so that our seniors have the confidence moving forward that Medicare is going to be available to them.
What are some of the key changes, fundamental changes that have to be made to it in order to save it?
Well, right now, what has been happening is that, we have been cutting Medicare in the president's health care plan. We cut, or I didn't, but Medicare was cut $600 billion in order to fund the president's health care plan. So what we're seeing is that providers, doctors, hospitals, home health care agencies, medical device companies, they're seeing their reimbursements from Medicare cut, and it's getting harder and harder to find a provider who will take Medicare. So our seniors are out there unable to find providers who will take Medicare. So that means there's going to be limited access, there's going to be longer lines, and that's where we need to start making sure that we have Medicare and that it is that we are taking steps now to make sure that it is available to our seniors, that promise that we've made to our seniors, that we can keep it.
All right, Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rodgers, thank you very much.
Great to have you here tomorrow on the show.